by one, and then like birds took flight, borne on the autumn wind till they were out of sight. The autumn colors, bold and bright, have vanished with the wind, and now the days are empty as each leaf deserted limb. The birds fly south, or so they say, seeking refuge from the cold, but I remain to feel the pain of seeing life grow old. I watch the sky with careful eye. I wait for spring's soft bloom, so I can be the first to know that summer's coming soon. Why the twisted trees bent by the wind? Why does a lifetime end in misery and pain? I dare to ask you, God, as far-flung as the sky, are you playing games with us as we live and die? You've dressed the world with beauty, you've shadowed it with pain. Could I learn to love you if I tried again? Romance in the Old Folks' Home. She roams restlessly down the hall. He sits quietly against the wall, talking to himself, clicking his tongue. Both are lost in a world of their own. Time has touched their bodies so they're bent with age. Their minds are slow. They're lost in the wilderness of age. They wander aimlessly through their days. Suddenly she spies him there, sitting pinned into his chair. Memory stirs her like a soft wind on a summer morning. She goes to him. She puts her lips against his hair. They talk. Their words float through the air, meaning nothing. Trivia from long ago, save these 4 words: I love you so. Her old bent fingers are never still. She smooths and plucks at his clothes until a tender smile lights up his face. Then she laughs, and they embrace. They sit for hours, this loving pair. Meaningless conversation fills the air. Their words are touching, loving things. It doesn't matter what they mean. When they're apart, they don't even know the other exists. Most often they go their separate ways, softly muttering about nothing, searching for something, puttering. When they're together, no questions are asked about what's in the future, who's in the past. Love only exists when they're together, hugging, kissing, caressing each other. They have gray hair and wrinkled faces, wandering minds and tottering voices. They're tied to their chairs so they can't roam, these 2 perfect lovers in the old folks' home. Lovers. Long nights alone, the cold wind blew around my fear-filled room, and even the light from my little lamp could not shake me from my gloom. The thunder of the horses' hoofs, the knock upon the door, my mystery lover has returned to hold me in his arms once more. The rain falls softly on the earth, clouds fill the valley floor. Gently he holds me in his arms, and love has come once more. And now the fire upon the grate throws shadows round the room. The storm is gone, the clouds are bright with the light from the misty moon. Spring. Just as the blushing dawn comes gently stealing across the sky, spring tiptoes in, perfumed and delicately dressed and pleasing to the eye. The brown and barren hills and trees who've died a winter's death will dress themselves in glowing green and fragrant blooms warmed by fair spring's sweet breath. The green and golden fields, the bee, the fragile butterfly, the singing birds, the stream so swift with melted snow, all tell me spring's been by. Winter. We wake up to a world of winter white. Winter's whitening wand waved to and fro. Snow had swallowed everything in sight. The houses look like hills of shiny snow. Frosted fields forlorn and frozen lie, silent and sparkling in the early morning light. Heavy heaps hide the highway down below. We hear the sound of sawing wood nearby. Silvery smoke spirals towards the sky. Oh, wondrous winter, we welcome you in all your solemn, stark serenity. This one is titled Knowing God. The sun is broken into a myriad of prisms of light shining on the rippled pond. Thousands of intricately veined leaves crown every tree. Each snowball contains an infinity of precious, perfect snowflakes. If I can spend all afternoon examining just one insect's wing, how can I ever know God? This is a poem that I wrote for my son, who's 6.5, and his girlfriend Sasha, 6 months younger. They've been sweethearts since they were about 1.5 years. Title poem written for Jonah and Sasha. The rain came down fast and hard. It made a puddle in my backyard. A little duck jumped in the puddle and splashed around in the muddle. The sun flew up and the rain spun away, and little Jonah came out to play. Then Sasha jumped up and said, "Hello, honey. Let's play house in the sunny."
Sabrina. She was so small once. He held her in his arms, sheltering her from the wind, keeping her warm. Now, like a sweet fulfillment, she walks between the rows of fragrant-smelling flowers and dances on her toes, her hands held out to life's sweet promise, her beauty as the dawn. God guide her, watch her, keep her from all harm. Summer. By day you are a lady, richly dressed in green, the deep and shining green of shady trees, the bright green of the grass, the light transparent green of a fragile insect's wing. The glorious sun provides you with a crown of gold, and on your dress are scattered colors bright and bold, the crocus, rose, and dandelion, yellow, bright vermilion, even white. By night you don another gown of velvet black, star-studded, sparkling, and the scent of jasmine fills the air as you pass by. Villanelle. All nature with her varied voices spoke to me that day. The trees softly whispered in the silky breezy air, and wanting to speak to God, I got on my knees to pray. The chanting creek spoke of snowy peaks and the sea far away. The crown-crested quail and squirrels were everywhere. All nature with her varied voices spoke to me that day. The harmony of nature formed the words I would say, thanking God for life and for beauty fine and rare. And wanting to speak to God, I got on my knees to pray. The bloom of fragrant flowers rose like incense, and the play of light and shadow on the hills was grace beyond compare. All nature with her varied voices spoke to me that day. The words of my prayer became crystal clear, and they were windows through which I could see God standing there. And wanting to speak to God, I got on my knees to pray. He spoke of life everlasting, the creation and the way. All life is like a symphony, directed with loving care. All nature with her varied voices spoke to me that day, and wanting to speak to God, I got on my knees to pray. Rain. Silver drops falling from the sky, the gentle sound lulls me to sleep, falling on the roof, the thirsty earth, the bare trees, and the clouds do weep. O God, thou knowest what is best. You make the sun and rain. You give us blessed love and joy, and garnish it with pain. Tonight the sky is full of clouds, The rainbow in the moon fulfills all promises you've made when your sweet son was born. The flood in the canyon. The moon spins silver threads across the cloudy sky. Shadows circle and settle on the houses below, sitting uneasily on the sand in the canyon. Jesus wept and held the silver lightning splitting the eastern sky. The thunder roared down the hills behind the wind and rain. The mud was a swift sea carrying our broken houses down the canyon. Then some of us remembered. We looked up, and he said, "Not yet." The redeeming sun smiled in the transparent sky. Everything stood revealed. We picked up the pieces of our dreams and walked through the mud out of the canyon. Friends, in the dark shadow of death's blackest wing, breathing fire, I did expire and laid me down to die. In the bright sunshine of life's joyful song, fulfilling love from God above, true friends tiptoed by and gently put me on a cloud of love and ministered to me. I arose in faith and walked away from death's dark eternity. Missing you. You said you missed me and touched a secret place of a special friendship of a time gone by, separated now by time and space. Fingers rapping at my door, your smiling face comes in to share yourself with me, and in the heat we sit and talk and show we care. Jonah, leaping, running, asking, comes in from swimming to be with us, a slightly frantic child. We love him, take him on our knee. You take him running, playing, swimming, bring home a tired little boy, dinner, TV, shower, bedtime, lots of fighting, lots of joy. Traveling in your car, the thing, to Bishop, kiosks, everywhere, laughter, silence, talking, buying, finding new dreams to share. Then Jonah is gone, just you and I, and then suddenly you're gone too. Anna leaves, and I am alone with Karen, and I miss you.